The Cartel update just dropped on the main branch. No more beta, no more bugs, and no more problems. It's finally here, and it's packed with new content. We're talking ambushes, graffiti, dealer robberies, and even a brand new system for unlocking areas. Things just got a lot more complicated in Hyland Point. But don't you worry, because I've got you covered. I'm going to be breaking it all down, piece by piece in this video. So sit back, grab a cuke, and let's dive into everything you need to know about the Cartel update. Starting with the big decision, because once you finish the Mixing Mania quest and unlock 5 customers in Westville, you'll get a text from Thomas Benzies asking to meet up. And when you do, he drops a bomb on you. Do you work with the Cartel or against them? And each path has its own pros and cons. If you work with the Cartel, life is a lot easier. There's no ambushes, no robbed dealers, and you can even sell the Cartel bulk product. But there is a catch. You'll only be allowed to sell to people in Westville and Northtown. It's their city, and you did agree to be their bitch. However, if you wage war against the Cartel, you'll eventually unlock every area in the game, but it comes at a cost. Ambushes around every corner, dealers constantly getting robbed, and the Cartel trying to steal your customers left and right. Personally, I think the smartest move is to play nice at first. Work with them, build up your empire, and then when the time's right, stab them in the back. After all, this is drug dealing, and if the Cartel wants to play dirty, so can we. But after betraying them, you can't actually take them down until you've unlocked every single area. And Tyler completely changed how that works. In the past, all you had to do to get a new area was level up a few times. Now, it's all about lowering the Cartel's influence. On the bottom of the contact screen, there's a new bar showing how much control the Cartel has over the region. It starts at 1,000, and you need to drop it down to 300 to unlock the next area. Hover over the little eye icon, and you'll see a list of actions that chip away at their power. Unlocking new customers, defeating ambushes, interrupting Cartel deals, and drawing graffiti. The problem is, the game never explains how to trigger them, or even how much influence each action actually removes. But don't worry, I've got you covered. Let's break them down one by one. Every time you unlock a new customer, the Cartel loses 50 influence. This is the main method of lowering control in a region. Most areas have 9 or 10 customers, so just handing out free samples can cut the Cartel's influence in half, all the way down to 500, just 200 points shy of what we need to unlock the next area. Next up are ambushes. Occasionally, you'll get jumped by a bunch of damn greeners, and if you successfully defend yourself, they'll end up losing 75 influence. Now the ambushes are a bit confusing for a lot of players, but that's because there's actually 2 different ways they can happen. Right after you complete a deal, or when you enter certain areas of the map. And lucky for you, I went ahead and mapped out every single ambush point in the game, with help from my friend Sleipnir. Here's the full map. Go ahead and grab a screenshot so you don't get caught lacking. But that's not all that's on this map, because if you look closely at the crosshair, you can also see that we mapped out every Cartel dealer spawn point, because taking down one of these guys knocks off another 50 influence. Cartel dealers wander the map trying to sell to customers you haven't unlocked yet, but they also spawn at their starting point for a few seconds every single night at midnight. They basically poke their heads out the door and then vanish, so if you're quick, it's a guaranteed takedown. Each region has its own dealer, so it's an easy way to chip away at influence across the map. Now this little trick only works because of a weird quirk in the NPC scheduling system. And trust me, I've got way more exploits and secrets like this coming soon. Next week, I'll be dropping a full video on data mining the Cartel update, where I'll break down all the hidden mechanics I pulled straight from the code. So if you've got any questions about this update, stuff you're curious about but the game never really explains, drop them in the comments. I'll dig through the files and get you some answers. And I didn't forget about the final way to chip off some Cartel influence. Graffiti. It's hands down the most fun method. Nothing quite captures the spirit of taking down organized crime like spray painting dicks everywhere, tanking property values, and giving private equity the green light to evict single mothers and replace them with luxury apartments. The system's simple. Every time you level up, you earn a spray can, which you can buy at the gas mart. And each fresh piece of graffiti you slap on a wall drops the Cartel influence by 50 in that area. But there's a catch. Every area has a limited number of graffiti spots, and if you tag a spot in a region that you've already pushed the cartel out of, the influence in other regions isn't going to budge. All you'll end up doing is wasting spray cans. So to keep that from happening, I had my boy Slepnair whip up another map, showing every graffiti location and which region it's associated with, because it can get a little confusing at times. You think you're spraying in downtown, but whoops, it's actually uptown. Now you aren't stuck with just drawing willies. You can paint whatever you want. For example, the people in my Discord have basically turned Hyland Point into a full-on goose sanctuary. So if you want to get in on the fun or just show off your own art, join my Discord. The link is in the description below. Next up, pickpocketing. It used to just be a goofy side hustle. Dig through some pockets, grab a little loose change, and if you're really lucky, a jug of horse semen. But the Cartel update made pickpocketing a lot more lucrative. Every single customer carries the exact cash they need for their next deal, which means you can steal their money and still sell them the drugs for double the profit every time. And if you mess up, who cares? Just run off, play some poker, come back later. They'll still be standing right there. But here's the best part about pickpocketing in the new update. You can also rob cops now. All you have to do is grab the bat from the basketball court, whack a cop, take his gun, and before you know it, you've wiped out the entire police force, and you're sitting on a mountain of 1911s. And you can do this on day one. That's enough firepower to last until you unlock the shotgun. Use your newfound firepower to fight ambushes, interrupt cartel deals, or just arm your dealers like you're running a black market Costco. And trust me, you want to arm your dealers because the cartel is going to try to rob them. And the only way to keep them protected against those damn greeners is to arm them. Each weapon adds a different amount of protection. The pump shotgun is the best, followed by the 1911, then the revolver, and all the melee weapons are the same. But there is a few things to note. The defensive stats don't stack, so giving a dealer more than one weapon isn't going to help. And ammo isn't consumed when they defend themselves, so you don't need to worry about supplying bullets or magazines.
These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy.
So as soon as that stolen police pistol clicks empty, just give it to Benji. It won't make a difference. It's also worth noting that your dealers aren't at risk to get robbed everywhere. They only face the threat of being robbed when operating in areas with high cartel presence. So planning their customer list around safer zones and keeping an eye on that cartel influence is key. In fact, if you manage to bring every area's influence below 300, you'll get a call from Uncle Nelson kicking off a special quest called Finishing the Job, which gives 1000 XP when completed. Spoilers up ahead, but you'll need to trade 20 coke to Billy for RDX chemicals, pay Sam 10 grand to dig a tunnel under Hyland Manor, and take out a stranger at the docks for Stan so he can turn the chemicals into a bomb. Once that's done, all that's left is to plant the bomb under the manor, sit back, and watch the explosions. Goodbye, Cartel. Over the next 5 days, the manor will slowly be rebuilt, and on the 5th day, Ray will text you letting you know that the manor is officially available for purchase. It has 10 employees and 3 loading bays, and of course, I'll be making a tutorial build for it as well. In fact, I actually plan to redo all of my tutorials now that we have a brand new property, so stay tuned to make sure you don't miss any of them. And hey, I figured I'd throw this little tip in for free because it saved me a lot of time, and it's not specifically about the Cartel update, but I figured you guys would want to hear it anyways. In single player, when you die, the game makes you reload your last save, and since ambushes tend to happen at night, if you die, you end up losing 20 minutes of progress, which is pretty annoying. So to fix this, I've been using the console to bind the save command to my K key. So anytime I get shot at, I press K, and if I die, I didn't just waste 20 minutes of my life. Is it cheating? Absolutely. Do I care? Not at all. One day, maybe Tyler will let us respawn at the hospital like in multiplayer, but until then, this is my insurance policy. And speaking of things that save time, yeah, I'm ending the video right here. Stay silly, y'all.